Hi folks, this is Jay. Dear me. Atheist, I'm sorry, but you're pathetic. You're absolutely pathetic. You're absolutely pathetic. They are pathetic. Basically, I got into an exchange with this atheist called Making It Explicit. He said he was an academic historian. He wouldn't have an academic debate with me, which is really strange if you're an academic, isn't it? We've got into an exchange about 5 or 6 videos, and I really do like when I like to, if I was reading Jean-Paul Sartre or who's a philosopher, or Karl Barth, like when I was at university, we were learning lectures about Karl Barth, and we were reading theology books by Karl Barth. So I like to really get into a thinker. I like to get behind the skin. So I read an intellectual biography of Karl Barth and looked at the influences that he has, that's been on him as a thinker. And I've done it with Sartre, and I do it with Sam Harris or Dawkins. I like to look at the people that have influenced them. And in the exchange with this atheist, Making It Explicit, I asked him what influences were in his historical research, and he claimed that he had none, that he was just looking at the evidence. And I thought to myself, this guy can't really be a historian. I mean, there is feminist historians, there are Marxist historians, there are post-colonial historians, and he's saying he's not influenced by anybody or any movement. And I thought, this just doesn't ring true, But I remember a conversation I had with him on Skype, and I thought he did recommend a book, so I'll go and look at the book. I looked at the book, and I was shocked that this book said that Jesus was a Russian aristocrat. And I'm thinking, this guy can't be real if he was recommending stuff like this. Now, we talked over a couple of days about this historian called Fomenko. Not just one day, but a couple of days, and over a couple of weeks actually, we had conversations, and this guy Fomenko came up. So there were like a couple of days where we mentioned it, but then we left it, and then a week later he was mentioned again. But Fomenko definitely came up because I did ask for a book recommendation from Making It Explicit. Now the atheist realized, now Making It Explicit put transcripts of the conversation under his video, just a snippet, and then at the bottom there's a bit that wasn't in the original transcript that he's put in. Now the atheist, somebody's helped him to get the Skype thingy on, and they put the Skype on, and they're playing the Skype. The Skype over like one bit of the conversation, and we're presumably this is the original transcript. I mean, we don't know, and it's all laughable, really. All this atheist has to do, Making It Explicit, who is an academic historian, all he has to do is to prove to us he's a true academic historian by recommending us his PhD and showing us some of the articles that he's written. Now, he recommended this book to me, Fomenko, as if it was some kind of really good book. Now, if we check his writings, Making It Explicit's writings, we will find whether he has been influenced by these off-the-wall historians or not. Alright? Either he's been influenced by these off-the-wall historians or not. All he has to do is tell us where his articles are, where his PhD is, we can read it, and if there is no mention of Fomenko, if there is no mention of these off-the-wall scholars, then he is completely exonerated and vindicated. But if we find reference to any of these off-the-wall scholars like Fomenko, then I am vindicated. But if he won't tell us his PhD, if he won't give us his articles, then all you're seeing from the atheist community is spin. When they lose an argument, when they lose a debate, They descend into attacking the person rather than working on the arguments, rather than working on the evidence, rather than working in the debate. I have consistently called for academic debates. They have Making It Explicit and others have refused these academic debates, and now they've descended into a farce where they are now spinning against me, and it's just laughable. It's just laughable. And I have to say that atheists are just laughable. You're not honest. You're not intellectually honest. You're not intellectually engaging in proper debate. And I'm sorry, but it's just laughable. You're just absolutely laughable. And every time I try to engage with atheists, we get this dishonesty all the time. So there we are, atheists. Keep spinning. But at the end of the day, if he's a historian, an academic historian with integrity, then let him tell us his PhD, let him tell us where his articles are. We can read them, and we will either I will be vindicated by, we will see that he has been influenced by these weird historians, because he recommended it as if this was a key book that had influenced him. We will either see these weird historians mentioned somewhere in his writings or PhD, or he will be a very sensible historian, and he will be vindicated because he's not mentioned these scholars or been influenced by these kind of scholars. So it's up to him to tell us his PhD and his articles. If he's not willing to do that, then you shouldn't be listening to these atheists who are just spinning because they've lost the argument, and they're just descending into stupid antics, trying to debunk and blackmail, blacken my character, when at the end of the day, I've openly said time and time again, academic debates please. Why? So it doesn't descend into this kind of farce that atheists have descended into over this issue. This is called the Making It Explicit Scandal. This is the Making It Explicit Scandal. It's as simple as that. An atheist scandal of cover-up again. Lack of honesty, lack of integrity. Simple as. Alright, take care now.